report about how New York State spends its advertising money. So what we're here talking about digital ads, we're here talking about revenue in that sense. So I highly recommend you all go check that report. We'll share the link after. And also write about it and do journalism about it as well to pressure New York State into distributing more ads to community media. So, without holding up and no further ado, I want to send you to the person who was behind that report and the person who is in charge of today, Darley Gervais.
Thank you, Mikhail, for that presentation. I am Darley Gervais, and I am the Advertising Boost Initiative Manager. And I have to say that I'm happy to see some people that I haven't seen in a long time, and happy also to see people that I spoke on the phone, but we didn't meet with each other. I would say nowadays, my advice to publishers is always to arm yourself with the best tools possible in order for you to fight for advertising. It is really important. And also, my conversation with publishers is always as well that CCM is here to help advocate for you. But in our advocacy work, I think we find NYPS, when an advertising agency decides that to bridge the gap with you, work with you, I think it's a good thing. And I think today's workshop is a great step forward for the contribution with NYPS, and in order for us at CCM and also an agency like NYPS to give you the best tools possible and for you to fight for advertising. Without further ado, let me introduce Michelle from New York Press Service, and I say thank you to Michelle and her staff at NYPS for putting this workshop together.
Thanks, Darley. Welcome. I really appreciate your time today. For those of you who I have not yet met, my name is Michelle Ray. I'm the Executive Director of the New York Press Association, which owns the New York Press Service. The mission of NYPA is to ensure the sustainability of news organizations in New York State. We've existed since 1853. Our press service, which is our advertising placement arm, has been around since 1948. And what we really want to do is make sure that we, A, understand your market and the audience that you deliver so that we can place more advertising into your companies. But B, we want to provide you with tools so that you can fish for yourselves, so that you can go out and get your own advertising. So that's one of the reasons that we're here today. I brought several members of my staff with me today. They're the people that you'll deal with on a day-to-day basis. My Senior Vice President for Advertising is Jeff Kiley. Believe it or not, we look really young, but Jeff and I have worked together for more than 50 years. Also with me today is Callie Blecker, who is the media planner, who supports all of the ad salespeople that we have at NYPS. Also with us today in the back of the room is Bob Berkenthal. He's another Senior Vice President. And with us is Molly Tarbo. Molly is the Director of Digital Training for Local Edge, which is an arm of the Hearst organization. But we partner, NYPS partners with Local Edge to handle our digital advertising. She'll talk to you about SEO, SEM, social media, your websites. And not with us today, but in the Albany office, I want you to write down the email address of Christina at nynewspapers.com. And she's the person who, after this presentation is over, whatever you didn't understand, don't know how to do, don't have the bandwidth to do, need help implementing, you email Christina at nynewspapers.com, and she'll get on the phone with you and hold your hand so that we can make sure that you've armed yourself with everything that you need to sell more advertising, and especially more digital advertising. So with that, I'm going to hand it off to Jeff and ask him to take it over.
Great. So, hello. Thank you for being here. Glad to see everyone. I've talked to many of you, so it's finally great to meet you in person. I want to thank the folks from CUNY. They have just been absolutely fantastic. From the time that we started with an idea of doing this and actually doing more in the future. So we want to do more of these, and it's just been everything. We walked in today, the mics were live. I mean, everything was just absolutely perfect. So we want to thank Darley and her staff for everything that they've done. Thanks for bringing us to this wonderful city. We love to come here, so any time we can come down, we jump on the opportunity. So like I said, we're going to do more of this in the future, and we do have lunch afterwards. That's what Bob's in charge of out in the hallway, the guy in the white shirt. So Michelle just introduced him. So Q&A we're going to keep till the end. Okay, we are recording the session, so we will email it out to everyone who both are here and those that weren't able to make it for one reason or another. So just a quick overview of what's going to happen today. It's short, but we think it's going to be very, very informative to you folks. So Callie Blecker is going to talk to first to you about how to monetize your website, whether you're selling it yourself or whether we sell business for you that we send along to you. And there's a few things that we need to make that happen. Then Molly is going to talk about selling digital products other than your own digital, your own websites that you have. And we all know how critical that is and how important that is now. So she'll talk about that. She is with Local Edge, as Michelle said. They are our digital partner, and they have been for about a year now. And it's been an absolute terrific relationship. There's going to be a few opportunities that I'll mention at the end that you will have to perhaps work with them or work with them through us. So, and again, questions at the end. Without further ado, Miss Callie. You are welcome.
Okay, guys. They said, oh, aren't you glad you don't have to go first? I'm the first one who has to use the projector. So let's see if we can make it work. We can. All right. Let me get set up here. So, like Jeff just said, I am going to go through a very high-level overview with you about the digital advertising on your website and a few key points you need to make that run as smoothly for you as possible. Pew Research Center reports shared newspaper advertising revenue coming from digital advertising increased from 17% to 39% in 2020. Factoring in the trend towards digital we all experienced during COVID, these are ad dollars you can't afford to ignore. Anecdotally, when most of you got to know me was during Q4 when Jeff and I were working day and night on digital advertising. So we have limited time today, but what I want to do with our time together is help you feel a little more confident discussing the space. Like Michelle mentioned, afterwards, if you have questions, we have a great team who can help walk you through this step by step. Hopefully our time together today just helps you feel armed to do that. So, what is digital advertising? It is exactly what it sounds like. You all interact with digital advertising thousands of times every day, every time you open your phone or log onto your computer. This is a simple example. We have pulled up this website. There's digital advertising at the top and on the side. If you interacted with this website at all, you would see dozens of more ads throughout the page. How we are doing digital advertising, and this is really why I am here today, is through ad tags, third-party ad tags. So, don't worry if you're not familiar, an ad tag is a piece of code. Please don't be intimidated by the word code. I promise you, you've got this. It's placed on your website to display ads. Very simple. So, how do ad tags work? A source code is inserted into a page. The code sends a request to the ad server retrieves the ad, and finally the ad server places the creative on your browser, returning the ad tag and creative URL. There are two main types of digital advertising. We have static ads, which are ads that don't change, prepared content exactly like in your newspaper. It works the exact same as print advertising. Then we have rich media ads, which are interactive. They include multimedia, video, audio, animation, as well as text and images. Standard ad sizes are very, very important. Digital ads come in all shapes and sizes, but we're going to focus on what are considered the standard sizes. Just like modular sizes in display advertising, Sticking to these sizes helps keep the process simple. The client isn't going to have to make dozens of individual pieces of copy, which makes you more attractive to the advertiser. So a few basics. We've got MPU, which is a mid-page unit or multi-purpose. It's 300 by 250 pixels, and is typically used in the middle of the page to break up text. We've got a leaderboard, which is 728 by 90, and is frequently placed at the top. Yes?
So are we going to have access to this information after?
Yes.
Yes.
So we don't have to do it.
No,
Thank
we've
you.
got
Thank you. Perfect.
I've even got
Oh,
a
that's perfect.
glossary of terms to send home with you, so if I'm going too quickly, don't worry. So back to it. We have a skyscraper ad, 160 by 60. You can see it runs the length of the page. A benefit of this is that a user continues to interact with the ad as they scroll. Then we move on to our billboard, which is just what it sounds like, a billboard at the top of a web page. It's like a leaderboard, but larger. And of course, more and more important, we have mobile ads, standardized ad units designed for mobile devices that includes smartphones and tablets. The mobile leaderboard is 320 by 50. It's a banner ad that's optimized for a phone, so they will send you an additional file for those mobile devices. Moving on, hopefully a lot of you in the room recognize what an insertion order from New York Press Service looks like. We're just going to go through a really quick working example. I want you to know that if you have worked with me at all in print, you can work with me in digital. It's going to come to you in the same way. So, highlighted here are a few key facts you would need to get a campaign started. We have the ad sizes. You can see here we have 3 of those 5 standard ad sizes I just discussed. Then you have the total number of impressions ordered. This number is very, very important, and we're going to continue to discuss that in just a second. Then you have your campaign time frame. This is equivalent to a run date. And then when to expect the ad tags. Remember, the ad tags are your ad copy. So when can you expect that from me? These are ad tags. Again, don't be worried about the word code. Ad tags are going to come in an email from a New York Press staff member, probably me, some of you have gotten them already. They come attached as an Excel document, and without going too far into the weeds, this is an example of what they look like if you were to open that document. The creative is in this code. There is no separate file. This is everything you need. So you have the tags in hand, and just like in display, all you have to do now is hand them off. You're going to send them to your ad ops director. If you need help familiarizing yourself with this process in your own paper, call Christina, reach out to us, we can help you. But you're just going to hand this off, and they will, like we discussed, insert it into the web page, and the ad server will take care of the rest. So, lastly, and this is where I could spend all day, this is impressions and analytics. I want to talk about a few keywords and phrases to, again, help you feel a little more confident. An impression is the number of times a user sees your advertisement. Even if they see your ad multiple times, that's multiple impressions. If one person sees an ad 6 times, 6 impressions. Then you have unique views and users. This is how many unique people interact with your website. If one person views an ad 6 times, that's 1 unique user. User and view. Then we have the click-through rate. So this is, again, exactly what it sounds like. It's the % of users who engage with an ad. So we want people to click on the ad. We want people to visit the advertiser's website. By using third-party tags, this information is tracked. And that's when we get into analytics. This is what the advertisers want to see. This is what we need to send the Department of Transportation. These are hard numbers. This can show on any given day how many people are visiting, how many people are staying, how many people are interacting. This is what I need to deliver to them. And using third-party tags allow us to do this. So one very important part of this is delivery versus under delivery. The final dollar amount on an order is based off of impressions delivered. If you under deliver, meaning the ad delivers fewer impressions than I ordered, you're only going to get paid for the impressions delivered. Now, impressions can be monitored through the whole campaign, so this can help you and help us make sure under delivery doesn't happen. If a campaign is running for 3 weeks and we've ordered 100,000 impressions, you don't want 100,000 impressions to be delivered on the first day. You want to stretch it out over 3 weeks. That helps you with your inventory, and it helps the advertiser have maximum efficacy with their ad. So we track it too. And periodically, if we are looking at the reporting that comes in and we see you lagging behind, we'll reach out and work with you to see if there's anything we can do to amp up the delivery. That way you get paid for the full amount ordered. Okay, let's see here. Here's a more specific example that Bob threw in for me. As you can see, impressions, clicks, and click-through rate. One side note to be aware of is that click-through rates look really, really small. That's normal. They are really, really small. Think about how frequently you click on the ad you're looking at. So when you see numbers like this, you're not doing anything wrong. There's an industry standard that this is pretty average. So, 2 tips for increasing digital revenues for your publication. Accept the most popular ad sizes and accept third-party ad tags. These 2 things are really going to do a lot for you. And every paper does things differently. Every paper has different systems. If you're having trouble figuring out how to move forward, please reach out to us. Christina has been educating herself like this, on this like crazy, and is ready to answer questions. And a lot of you who already know me, I say all the time, please just send me an email or call me. If I can't help you, I can find the person who can help you. So come to us with any questions. And until the end, let's give it back to Jeff.
Thank you, Callie. I just want to add one thing to that, and there's probably a lot of you folks here that are saying, oh boy, third-party tags. I don't know what to do. I don't know if we accept them. Check with your IT folks, because there's a good chance that you already accept third-party tags. If you're running Google ads on your site, you have third-party tags. So then just look at the sizes, make sure that that you can accommodate the sizes that Callie just talked about, and then you'll be in good shape. Then it comes to us to sell some campaigns for you. And I can tell you, it's really going in this direction. And we sell print, we sell an awful lot of print, but there's campaigns coming down now, and that's the one that Callie referred to, $500,000 campaign, and it was just digital on newspaper websites. So you folks were still getting the business, but the ones that weren't getting the business are the ones that did not accommodate these sizes or take third-party tags. And the reason why, they're not going to have a design person put together ads for one-off. So they're not going to, for website A, if they don't have the standardized sizes, they're not going to get the business because they're not going to have a design person design 50 different ads. So anyway, let's turn it over to Molly right now. I really don't need a microphone. I got a big mouth.
I'll try the microphone here. I'm not used to microphones, but let's see here. Where's the clicker? So next up, we're going to dig into some opportunities that we have here for selling beyond your publication. So let's talk about that for just a moment. To start off, you bring value. Any publisher in the room here is bringing value to your advertisers by giving them the opportunity to advertise in your print publications and also online. And that's a very good way to bring value to business owners. That's really what we're trying to do. If the business owner is happy, that's going to keep the wheels turning. And what I want to talk to you today about is how you can extend that value that you're bringing to business owners. I work with Local Edge and I'm partnered directly with New York Press Service. And we help New York Press bring these kinds of capabilities to advertisers. And I also work directly with many newspapers. So let's dig in. What we want to do to help business owners, really the biggest way we can bring value to them is to find ways to get their message in front of their potential customers, their audience. That's the goal. And most publishers, and in fact most business owners, have awareness covered. What we're looking at here is the entire journey that consumers take when they're in the process of making a buying decision. And it actually starts with awareness before they have a need for a product or a service. And well, the challenge for us is to find ways to get in front of consumers when they're beyond awareness, when they start to have a need and they begin to research products and services. And especially when they're ready to make a buying decision, and that's where intent comes into play. So most business owners have awareness nailed. You can see print advertising is covered with awareness, and we're helping them out really well with display advertising. That's that digital advertising on the newspaper website. There are other ways that we can bring awareness to the table too. And you can see this graphic, I like it a lot because it shows us how much work awareness does all along the journey. It's really keeping the business brand top of mind to consumers through every phase of that consumer journey. But there are additional ways that we can help consumers keep that brand top of mind by ensuring that the business owner has a plan for every phase of the consumer journey. We can help them, for example, with a website and social ads and social media, things like email marketing, when they're in the consideration phase of the journey. We want to make sure that the awareness we're generating in the first step can be realized fully in the consideration phase. Imagine a business owner spending money for a billboard or a print ad only to send potential customers to a website that doesn't load very well or doesn't tell the story of the business well, doesn't come up on mobile devices. Can anybody tell me what percentage of searches occur on mobile devices versus desktop these days? Or want to hazard a guess back there, sir?
Between 60 and 80%.
That's exactly right. Over half of searches are happening on small screens. And business owners that don't have a plan to come up well when their potential customers are looking for them online are going to miss out on some of the potential of that awareness they're creating. Awareness drives search, so they need a plan to show up well once that awareness is generated. Next up is intent. This may be one of the most important phases of all. When consumers go online to do initial research, and now they're narrowing it down to maybe I'll go with business A or business B, doing things like looking up reviews and comparing. If the business doesn't come up well in the organic section of the search results or in the paid section for competitive industries, that business owner could be losing out on their initial investment for awareness too. So that's the challenge, and we're here to help publishers bring that additional value. And the flip side of that message is that, of course, it's another way to generate revenue too for publishers. So it's a win-win situation. All along the journey, we're keeping that awareness in play, and we can also continue to get in front of potential customers for business owners through things like remarketing as well. So let's dig in. Some of the core ways we can help business owners are by combining print and digital. And that's the other important message that I want to get across here today, is that print needs digital marketing services in order to work well, and the reverse is true. Digital marketing services need print, and they need awareness in order to work well. It's like hand in glove. Neither one is going to be successful without the other. And we have some statistics that really speak to that too. Take a look at this. When advertising across print and digital channels, consumers buy up to 250% more frequently than when it's through one channel alone. They need each other. So this is not about replacing awareness or reducing planning for less print advertising. It's about retaining that print advertising and helping it grow by extending the reach that you can bring to business owners. Up to 30% of consumers who notice print ads eventually visit the advertiser's webpage. So this kind of research shows us, and we can talk to our customers, they will tell us that I see the traffic coming to my website, but the conversions just aren't there. Well, how well is that website working for you? Is it up to date, loading well, telling your story? How does it compare to the competition? These are things business owners need to have in mind in order for any of their advertising to work. 75% of consumers say they judge a company's credibility based on its website design. Great to drive traffic to a website, but not so great if that website doesn't look good or isn't up to date. Consumers are 155% more likely to look up your brand-specific terms after they've been exposed to display ads. So this is another example of how the work that you're doing with your publications is actually helping any digital efforts that are out there too. Each one helps the other. They need each other to thrive. And finally, online campaigns were 400% more effective when combining print and digital advertising. They're like partners, two peas in a pod. I want to take a look at some real live examples. So this is a business called J. Archer Enterprises. Let's imagine that this search was conducted by a potential customer who just saw a print ad, and they want to learn a little bit more about J. Archer Enterprises because they have a need for some roofing services, which is what J. Archer specializes in. So they're about to become a customer. Anybody that's typing in the business name is about to become a customer. And what's happening here is that J. Archer doesn't have a very good plan to capture that business that they generated through their awareness efforts. There's no website showing up. There's only third-party review sites, and there's some mediocre reviews here. Anybody that was thinking about maybe going with J. Archer Enterprises is probably going to turn away and look somewhere else. They almost had the business, and now they're about to lose it. Let's take a look at an example of how we can help business owners out and do a better job. In this second example, we've got Weathervane Winery. Again, the name of the business has been typed in. And you can see Weathervane Winery loads really well here. The website result is the very first result. There's lots of third-party sites, but they're all showing positive reviews. We can even continue to scroll, and there's more examples, all pertaining to Weathervane Winery, and it's all positive, good information. Here, Weathervane Winery has taken control of the way their potential new customers are experiencing their brand. And that's exactly why we partner with publications, is to help you bring that additional value to your customers so that they can realize much more of that awareness that they're generating with print and display ads. So let's take a look at what's next here. Some of the core ways that we do that are with services like website design and search engine optimization. That's where we do work both on and off the website to ensure that it's found well in the organic results on search pages. And SEM, that's how we can help businesses in competitive industries show up at the top of those search results immediately. And finally, social media. There's lots of ways we can help with social media too, that go well beyond business owners telling their story by doing posts on social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram. With social advertising, we can extend that message to a very large targeted audience that go to social platforms and give social platforms tons of information about themselves. We can target that valuable audience and take it beyond the immediate audience that interacts specifically with publications. Extend that audience and still complement it. One more point on that, actually. You can see the little note at the very bottom. Things like reputation management and full motion video display advertising on extended networks that also go beyond just the publication are additional ways that we can help business owners continue to grow that audience.
Molly, before you leave that slide, can you go into the web design a little bit and tell them about Buzzboard and how they can actually sell website development to their customers? Sorry to derail.
Oh, absolutely, sure. Well, one of the things I'll say about each of these solutions, and it pertains to websites too, is that we have solutions that can meet the needs of all businesses, from very small to very, very large. We have tools to help us do research, and that's what Michelle was just mentioning. With tools that are like Buzzboard, we can generate a report card that tells us a little bit about a business owner's digital presence. We can let them know if the website functions well, if it's optimized to be found well in search, for example, and how well it loads on mobile devices. And that gives us an indication of how much need is there for business owners for new solutions that are actually going to work for them. Websites that are outdated, not built with responsive design, or whose content is laid out poorly aren't going to function as well and do the work of getting in front of the right audience for business owners. Back there, we have a question.
Yes, I've done websites for customers, and over time I found the problem is that I use WordPress mostly, and the people who supply the plugins and things like that, eventually they kind of crap out on you, and guilty for their non-performance. And do you offer a platform with a complete suite of plugins that you keep up to date? Because I found that's the biggest problem. I've kind of discontinued my website business.
Yep, it's a big lift. Building it, managing it, maintaining it.
It's okay if your suppliers are competent. And
Agreed.
I found with WordPress, it's kind of, because it's crowdsourced and things like that, it's just not as reliable. You need somebody to keep that
So,
stuff up to date.
What I agree with you, and I think that's the main point. You need somebody to keep that stuff up to date. There are many platforms out there, and what you just described is exactly the situation that a lot of business owners are under as well. It's a lot to keep up with. They're trying to run their business. They're not digital experts, and maintaining a website sometimes is extending them beyond what they're able to truly address. And that's why you need a good partner. That's exactly what we're digging into here.
Do you offer that platform?
We do, and I would beg to differ on the statement you made about WordPress. It's true, in the wrong hands, or if you don't have the bandwidth to keep it up, just like any tool, it's not going to work well for you.
It's not WordPress I'm talking about. It's the plugin.
I see. Yep.
I've used all kinds of them. I've even used ones where I paid annually, and they still crap out. And I find that unacceptable, because then I'm,
It's a lot for you to manage as a provider of solutions to business owners.
customer why we started a new website a year or two ago, and now it's not working.
The frustration you're expressing is a really good way to tap into how business owners feel about it too, because they feel the same way. And part of the way we deliver value to business owners is ensuring they understand that those kinds of updates are included in the pricing. They aren't going to pay additional fees if a plugin needs to be updated. It's factored into the project from the very beginning, and they know what they're up against. Absolutely, so important. In addition to that, I would say we offer additional platforms as well as part of our desire to help businesses of all sizes. So you can bring solutions that are extremely affordable and still function well on up to enterprise level solutions for very large businesses.
And not to steal Molly's thunder, but these are turnkey. So if you rely on her to do this, they're going to do this for you. It's going to look like you did it. It's white labeled for you, but they're going to carry the football for you all the way across the board.
I had no problem building the website. It was the problem is after I built it all, then
based on your budget also? How much money you have to get these
It really, any solution we provide is going to include whatever updates are needed to keep and maintain that quality. Absolutely.
And you have a wide portfolio of partners?
Absolutely, yeah. Great questions. Was there a question here too?
Question, but I WordPress. I'm not technical person. I don't know exactly, but my people said that WordPress cannot deliver what we want from the ads reports and so.
That's true if you're thinking of a publisher's website.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then
You need to go with a specialized platform.
Now we are building a new website.
Exciting. Yeah.
We build one already from getting away from WordPress.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, that makes sense for your publication. You're doing the right thing there. When it comes to solutions for business owners, WordPress has some significant advantages. It's one of them being that there's some brand recognition there, so a lot of business owners have heard it's good and they'll ask for it. Another is that it's built with open source, which means business owners have flexibility in owning that platform as well. And it's SEO friendly, which means those crawlers that look for information and decide who ranks highest online, like WordPress, it's easy for them to read it, and WordPress sites can rank higher as a result. In the wrong hands, even the best tools are no good. But that's the benefit of partnering with experts who will make sure that you're getting the most value possible from tools like WordPress and partner plugin providers too.
Is this very popular among the publishers?
It is. WordPress isn't necessarily
We
a
use it, but
go-to.
I'm wondering.
Yeah, it can be, depending on the goals and how you're serving ads and those kinds of things. It might not be the first choice for a publisher's website.
What are some of the choices?
There are third parties that do design work specifically for publishers, and we can put together a list for you and send that along. Let's save all the questions for the end. I want to just make a few more points here. Let's top this off with what makes a strong internet marketing strategy. So imagine we take a magnifying glass to that consumer journey we looked at just a moment ago. There are several things we can tell business owners you need to have in place if you're going to do any advertising. And one of those things is a strong online presence. And that just means a website that loads well on all devices, tells the story well, looks good, and is built with up-to-date technology so the crawlers like it and will rank it higher. That's one puzzle piece. You can't skip out on findability. You need a plan or a strategy for that website to be found, not just to drive traffic to the business owner's website, but qualified, relevant traffic from searchers who are likely to become customers to that business owner. That's where the value is for business owners. And with solutions like search engine optimization and search engine marketing, that's what we're doing for business owners. Brand management. This one covers a lot of territory. Print fits here too. It's an important part of the puzzle. Things like display advertising, digital display, where we're creating awareness about the brand before consumers necessarily have a direct need, is huge in order for any digital marketing services to be successful as well. And the very last piece of the puzzle is accountability. You need to be able to provide business owners with a way to hold us accountable for the results that they're receiving. So that means reporting. And one of the things we provide all of our partners with is an easy to log into dashboard where you can view your advertisers' reporting, but your advertisers can also log into that very same dashboard and look at their own reporting and see how their campaign is performing. It gives them transparency and the ability to see that it's working and hold us accountable for the results. With one piece missing, If that brand management piece is missing, it's no good. It's not going to work as well. Each piece helps the entire collection of solutions work better. And that's the goal.
Where would you put the content in this? The web content, I think, is important.
Under online presence, because that's something we look at when we develop a website or improve upon it, but it covers a lot of territory because it's also an important part of organic findability. So we would go under findability too. That's what the crawlers are looking for to decide if a website should rank high or not. It's one of the biggest pieces of it too. It's part of telling the story. Some of these kinds of solutions do double duty. But the point is you need a lot of tools in your toolbox to help business owners really capture conversions. And I'm going to end with this. This is a picture of our dashboard that we provide so that you and your clients can have full transparency on how everything's working for them. Should we open it up to questions? Or actually...
Yeah, I just want a couple things that I want to touch on, and then we'll do it.
Let's do it.
Okay, great. That was great. Obviously, we're going to have a lot more questions for Molly. Thank you, Molly, as we go along here. So if you'd like, check out our website, nynewspapers.com, when you get a chance. The folks from the Local Edge just redid our site. It's absolutely awesome. We love it. They're also doing SEO for it. So we meet with them regularly to see how we're doing, how we're moving up, and how we're being optimized. So it is really, really great stuff. So we're really proud of it. Right, Molly?
You got it.
All right. I just want to touch on a couple things. And number one is selling your products. If we're going to sell your products, we need to know several things. We need to get you in our database, I guess, is the first and foremost. That's the most important thing. But we need rates, we need specs, we need deadlines. From a digital end, we need monthly available impressions, and then also your paid views. Now, we know that that is a moving target. If you tell me today you got 250,000 available impressions for October, and this happens, doesn't it, Callie? And then 3 weeks from now, we get a schedule from you, and the advertiser wants 250,000 impressions. Well, they might not be there anymore. As a matter of fact, they probably aren't. So, and we know there's some websites that sold out very, very quickly. So just inform your advertiser of that. Make sure they know. But if we have that information from you, and we're always going to call and double check, all right, to see if it's there, especially if someone wants to buy a very large number of impressions. So, but again, you can check with, let us know, and then we will, Callie will call the client, and then we'll know from there. Okay. What happened? All right. This is other things we need to know from you as things change, as things happen. First of all, is there a lead that you have maybe run into a roadblock with? How can we help you sell that? Can we join you on a call, especially from the digital end? If you add some digital things, I mean, Molly and her team, again, is absolutely terrific in helping us with that and selling clients. So any changes you might have. We talked about specs. We talked about a lot of different things. Maybe some new products that you've put out there. It's very, very important for us to know that if we're going to help you. And current specials. You know, we got Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We've got a lot of things that happen throughout the year that you folks put together. And again, just let us know. Send us a sales flyer just like you would to any clients. Just make sure we get it. And there's some that send them to us regularly. Are we able to help them all the time? No. Have we sold ads in those sections because we knew about them? Absolutely. So just keep that in mind also. Just to give you an idea, in 2022, we sold $4.6 million of advertising, 225 newspapers or newspaper websites, and that's just in the 5 boroughs of New York. So we represent a lot of clients, we represent a lot of agencies, and the more we know about you, and if we can get you in our database, then the more we're going to be able to sell for you. Finally, help us help you. And, by that I mean, if you get an opportunity to speak with anyone in city government or something along those lines, just talk. I've talked to so many people today who already know us, who already knew the job we do, who are very good friends of Callie over the years. And we just need to, we're on the same page. We have the same mission as City Hall does, and we can definitely help them. And that's what we want to do, and that will turn into more business for you folks. So help them understand really what we do and the relationship that we have. And I know this isn't going to be easy. Now, a lot of the new contracts have been awarded to smaller advertising agencies in the city. And that's wonderful. That's great that they are. The issue there is going to be the resources to execute a campaign. They're just not going to be able to do it. They might have a media buyer. They might have 2. Okay, but how are they going to get to 100 different publications to get all of the information they need to execute a campaign within the next 2 weeks? I can't imagine. So, but that's what we do. That's what we've been doing for over 100 years. That's what we do. So, again, we're here to help you. Anything we can do, let us know. Molly, we've been a great partner of Local Ed so far. And even your own website, that's one thing I wanted to add. We talked about, that's obviously another arrow in your quiver, okay? When you go out and say, hey, I can give you digital now too. So, but look at your own websites. Are they being monetized? Are you capitalizing on your potential audience? So I'm going to end it there. We got Q&A coming up. Yes.
I just need to make 2 comments before I turn it over to Q&A. Make you aware of the resources that we have that are available to you 24/7 at no charge for you. So about 2 years ago, I embarked on a national campaign to help you create better marketing materials to grow your audience, to incorporate into your media kits. You can access a whole treasure trove of promotion materials that you can take, put into Photoshop, put your own logo on it, make it look like it belongs to you. You can either go to relevanceproject.net or you can go to nynewspapers.com and access the Relevance Project materials. There's all kinds of house ads that you can modify, all kinds of pages for your media kit, pages to help you do subscription marketing, print subscription marketing, digital subscription marketing. So I would urge you to visit those 2 websites. Again, this stuff is free. There's no copyright. It belongs to us. You can access it anytime you want. But more than that, the one message I want you to take away is anytime you need anything, call us. If we don't know the answer, which I'm willing to bet we do, but if we don't know the answer, we know where to get the answer. And that's really what we're best at. We're best at helping you to become sustainable, financially viable, to grow your audience, to grow your revenue, to improve your content, to improve your website. So whether you're a member of NYPA or not, consider us always to be your first stop for whatever question you have. And with that, we'll open it up to questions.
My name is David Ben-Horan. I publish The Jewish Voice, and it's been a pleasure working with you for the past 20 years. But I'm wondering, how come I didn't know that you handle digital advertising?
Best kept secret in the world. We didn't want anybody to know. You know, it's new, it's an evolution. It was really hard to get a lot of you to find the bandwidth to expand into digital, and let's be honest, digital is still in nickels and dimes, where print is where the big money is, so you get a much bigger bang for your buck.
We're doing very well on digital.
Well, that's good, then you're an
I'm very
outlier.
happy that I can, but
You need to tell us how you're doing that then, yeah.
so we've been putting a lot of effort in digital. We have a major website and we deliver hundreds of thousands of impressions. It does very well. We do work with third parties, suppliers, which is very exciting. And I'm very excited to be here and to find out that you're doing the same thing. And I'm looking forward to working with you and expanding because the sky is the limit.
Absolutely. Other questions?
Hi, I'm Fred Almonte with Documented New York. I've had an interesting conversation with a potential advertiser. We're digital only, and they have requested printed, if we provide any sort of printed services. So I'm wondering, in your own experience, if you have had that. I know it's usually the other way around with print going into digital, but how would that work for a digital only publication? Maybe expanding into something that is, limited as a printed product, or how would that work?
Send them to us.
That's a really good question. Mal, you want to try that one? Or not? I don't know. Jeannie, any thoughts on how you would go from digital first to print? I don't know.
Partner with somebody else in the room.
Yeah, right.
Find somebody that is reaching the audience that you want to reach and that you're going to deliver digitally, and see if you can work with someone else right here.
Good idea. And if you don't know who that person is, call us. We know who to hook you up with.
Hey, you have one already.
There you go. You have a volunteer.
Yeah, so peculiar conversation.
Yeah.
I
But I
stopped
think Jeannie's
printing.
suggestion is
I stopped printing during the pandemic because people don't read, and it's the cost of the printing is so high. You cannot.
Hi, Gene.
Yes, this is Anthony Alberia, Especialito. Thank you. I would ask a question that I think you were mentioning, They came to me and told me how many available impressions you're gonna have in this month, and I had no clue what that is. I still don't. Can you explain that to me or to whoever? What is available impressions in a certain month? Because what I do have impressions in the past, so I don't know.
So the answer for you is going to be different than the answer for any. That is an average number. So you would look, talk to your ad ops people, talk to your digital team, and look at the previous months. They're going to be
3 or 4.
Yeah.
4. Okay.
Look at it.
What's the impression is?
We have some people who do it month specific, some who do it by quarter. It really is okay either way. But you're going to come up with an average of how many impressions happen on a month-to-month basis for your website. And that's how many you have to sell. Think of it as blank pages, right? So you promise those impressions that are likely to happen to someone. And once you exceed that number, it's wise to stop selling any ads. And then you may see those numbers go up, and then you can sell more.
And if you don't make it,
If it's an under-delivery, so if you are not sure, undersell yourself a little. And that way you can get familiar with how much you can deliver. It's way better to over-deliver than under-deliver. And then you'll get a feel for it as you go. And the numbers will not be.
Did they ask you for when in October of last year, or it's better the last 3 months or last 2 months?
I would say gather as much data as your team can give you, because advertiser to advertiser, what they want is going to vary. So the more you can arm yourself with, the better. You're welcome.
You can be trending up, so going back a year sometimes isn't a good idea. So, but ask your IT person. He will know how many people are coming to your website every day. he will know that, and then that'll give you the number of impressions that you can sell. So,
What is the difference between impression?
How many advertisers you've sold, so if you've already committed some of those impressions to other people, you have to lower your number.
For impressions, I don't know if impressions is really a good way to ask the question. I think it's really page views. Because you can stuff 100 ads on one page, and that's 100 impressions. But if you, to me, page views is the operative number, because at some point, how many ads you have on a page becomes the law of diminishing returns. Do you know what I'm saying? Absolutely. So page views to me is maybe a better way to estimate what you have, and then decide how many ads you want to stuff into that page per month, and then you have your estimated impressions.
But if you have
you really have to be careful though, because you don't want to deliver.
If you
Like I
have
said,
too
if you have
many
100
ads,
ads on a page, you're not really going to be delivering.
if you have too many ads on the page, nobody's going to visit you.
Right.
Yeah, but the content, the content looks good. So if I'm writing immigration and there's multiple areas of immigration, then I would want to have an ad in each one of those areas.
Exactly. Also, if the
ad
is dynamic, the space of the ad is dynamic, change from advertiser to another. If you see the page once, maybe you have 2 ads in 3 seconds or something.
Yes, absolutely. One specific person can be thousands of impressions, and it can be a unique experience every time for that individual. But there's still just one unique view. And that number does matter. It's just not the only number that matters. And I think it varies advertiser to advertiser. Think about what is the mission of the ad campaign. It might be brand awareness in general, right? And then you just want them to see your ad as many times as possible. You want them to learn the name. Or it might be something more specific. We've done campaigns on vaccinations or health causes, and they are trying to reach the maximum number of unique people. So I think each one has its place, and they're both really valuable. So getting those numbers down and understanding what you have is going to serve you really well. If that makes sense.
This is you.
I am Adnan Khalil, the chief editor of Al Hawadith for Arab Americans. We print in Arabic bi-weekly, and we have Arabic in Arabic and in English. Mostly 70% Arabic language, but there is about 40 in English. The article and stories. Our impression maybe from 250 to 500 per month, but we struggle in advertising. This is our struggle in income, how to also to generate income from Facebook, from other social sites. This is our problem.
Hi, my name is Ricky Rivera from Philippine Daily Mirror, and my question is that we are a very small publication staffed by 1 full-time and 2 part-time people. And the question that I have is that because some of the customers that we try to approach for potential advertising is that they try to counter with our website's impressions that we give them. And they say that, but your presence in Facebook, is less. So how do we compare the Facebook, you have, I think, 3 choices in Facebook, though, like visit or they respond to it.
So there's a difference between our server count and that of the Facebook. So how do we reconcile those two?
So you're saying, are you asking about the way that you're counting visits, that and how they differ from your website and from Facebook?
Yes.
That's a good one. It would be one to dig into, but it's a matter of defining what each metric means. So when you're looking at visits to your website, unique views are important, unique visits are important, and the terminology across Facebook may be different, but most likely they align. They're just worded differently. So that's something that Callie and I can collaborate on if you would like to reach out to us and we can walk through that with you. Go ahead.
Good morning, I'm Gladys Cepin from El Diario. I'm Gladys Cepin from El Diario, La Prensa, the Spanish paper. We're going to be 110 years this year, and we all are working together in digital and print. But I just want to say thank you to New York Press for this opportunity to be here, to teaching us. And I'm glad that you're going to do more. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Thank you.
I mean, I can tell you that the digital campaigns that we have placed are ROS, or run of site, okay? So when we ask you for available impressions, we want all the impressions that you have available, from homepage all the way to a story about the prettiest cat in the market. So anything, that's what includes that. Hopefully there'll come a time we just want homepage, okay? That's where most of the impressions are going to be. And there's going to be time we want rich media as opposed to just static ads. So, we're evolving also. As we learn more, we want to educate you more also. As far as page views go, that kind of also tells you how much time a reader is spending on your site, which is critical. If they're coming and going, there's something missing there, content, whatever. So you need to look at that too. But, there's positions on a website that aren't going to get many impressions. That's all there is to it. And then there's going to be some that are going to do wonderful, whether it be high school sports or award-winning whatever the case may be. I know back in our hometown, Albany, the most popular is the Scene Gallery. It's called the Scene Gallery. Okay, and it's just a carousel of pictures from charity events to just all different types of things. People love looking at pictures. The other thing is real estate. That's another big one. People love to look at homes. So anyway, yes.
Oscar Hernandez from El Diario. Two questions. Click-through rate. What's the median percentage? What's an acceptable?
I believe it's 0.3, but I'd like to double check that and I'll email you. I believe that's correct.
And
Sounds correct. Yep.
the second question is, when you were talking about Jay Archer, while we are canvassing, not them calling us up, we notice that they don't have no websites. We notice that they're not in social media. We notice all these things. So, would they be a person that would want to canvass? And if so, then how would I use my selling tools? Being that print is not an engaged audience as much as a digital audience, and using social media and Facebook and what's that, Instagram and all these different, we use all of these different elements. So when providing that to that person, is there some type of listing somewhere that says, which ones of these bring in the most engaged people for your particular type of service? That was a lawyer, so naturally somebody's going to be calling them because they had an accident, they broke an arm, they're engaged, they're ready. I saw you on Facebook. And Facebook is more of a what's that word, pass along? Facebook is more of a pass along thing, isn't that? Like a word of mouth. Yeah, they're bigger in that sense. So you have that audience, even though it's not going to be as large as your website, perhaps, but still it's something that's there. E-blast.
What you want to do is consider the audience that they're trying to reach.
and it's different from business to business. And with digital, we have the luxury of creating customized programs for business owners, and we stray from trying to apply a cookie cutter answer for every business owner because they're all different, they all have different needs, and their customers are reading your publications. That's something that makes them unique and that we need to understand when we make recommendations to business owners about tapping into how digital can serve them best. But the thing to keep in mind is that consumers expect to find the business when they go online to search for it. And if they can't find it, they lose credibility. And so we need to make sure they show up so that they can be selected and they're taken seriously by their potential new customers. Even their current customers want them to have a Facebook profile so they can go and click like. And if they can't do that, they're disappointed. And they want them to have a website so they can see the staff profiles. And if there's an office pet, they want to see that. They want to hear the business owner story, and we can help the business owner do that.
Also, is there a listing where you would let somebody know where they can go, where you stand?
How they rank with their digital footprint? That's not readily available necessarily to a business owner, but we can bring them those kinds of reports. We have those tools available to us where we can essentially give them a report card and say, your website gets 40 points out of 100, and here's why. Your social media presence gets a certain score, and here's why. And those are the kinds of things that can help business owners. So that gives them a starting place. They know what they need to improve and what's working well. They're not always dropping the ball. When they're doing things right, we want to be able to tell them, this is working, and there are a few gaps. Let's fill in some of those gaps so that everything is working cohesively and holistically.
Or us as publishers.
We want to make sure, absolutely, the same thing.
Let's go to Natty, and then we'll go to Darley, and unfortunately, send us any question you have. Contact information.
Yeah, I'm Nadia. I work at Hellgate. We're a local news outlet. We're about a year and a half old. We cover all of New York City, and we just don't have like a ton of resources at the moment. We're a fairly small staff, but we are like over 200,000 impressions per month. It's very exciting. But do you guys trust like Google Analytics? Because at the moment, that's the only sort of analytics that we use, and I'm curious to hear more about like how we're collecting that data if we don't have a really sophisticated back end.
Absolutely. Sorry, I'm not used to using a microphone in a small room. Thank you so much for being patient with me with this microphone thing. Absolutely, Google Analytics is a tool that we use as well, and it's a great way for us to provide transparency to business owners. So I would say that that stands true across the board. Absolutely.
Whether they're accurate or not, it's an industry standard.
It is, yeah.
And your back end and Google Analytics say completely different things, but you still have to go with Google Analytics.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah. Google Analytics, yeah.
Darley?
Yes, following Nadia's question and Adnan as well and Philippine Daily News, I for the past 3 years work with small niche outlet or small publication where they are new to digital but they try. I want to know in your work with business owners, is there any education about how the ecosystem is uneven and that still small businesses, do they have their chance to be part of receiving advertising even if they don't have like those huge impression? Is there a part of education with business owners and letting them understand how they can target small news organization for small market, but the business is uneven, they're not gonna find 250,000 impressions all the time.
I just want to make sure I understand your question, and that is there a publication that might only have 25,000 impressions?
My question is that, does NYPS have a plan for educating business owners about the ecosystem?
Sure. I mean, first of all, that's an idea for another seminar, but.
We need to educate you, though. What we need to do is provide you with the tools so that you can go back to your advertisers and you can do it. And that's one of the reasons. I'm not trying to sell you on anything here, but you really should go to the Local Edge website, look at the tools they have, reach out to Molly or to Callie or to Jeff or to me, and understand how a partnership with them can position you to bring shiny new toys. That's a word that we hear and we use a lot in our industry. It gives you an excuse to make a sales call. You have something new to say to somebody. One of the things I love, our small space salespeople at NYPS work with a tool that Molly has called Buzzboard. And a Buzzboard is perfect for you guys. You take it out to a client's website. We run a Buzzboard on their website, and the information that comes back tells them where all the deficiencies are. And so we'll arm you with some proficiencies too, so that you can say some positive things, but then you go in and you say, you know, your website doesn't do this, this, and this. So if you want your business to grow, you probably need to fix your website before you fix anything else. And I can do that for you, but you don't have to do it. They'll do it for you. And to your comment earlier, they have all the background services, all the bells and whistles, all the ranges of how much it's going to cost, how much the annual fees are, what you get for that. So the advertiser knows going in exactly what it's going to cost them, but all you do is make a four-legged call with Molly and your salesperson so that the salesperson has the relationship, Molly has the technical knowledge, she'll tell the advertiser what they need to do. It looks like you did it, but you didn't really do it, and you don't have anything to lose because it gives you an opportunity to have a conversation with an advertiser.
As far as publications that have a small number of impressions, what they do is they price their website on a flat charge. They can't do it cost per impression. They just wouldn't make any revenue on it. So they'll put a flat charge on the website. It'll be on the home page for a month. So say they sell it monthly. So the key there is that even though the number of impressions is small, that audience is quality. It's a quality audience that is very loyal, and that's, how many did we have that was a flat fee?
Oh, dozens.
Yeah.
And I think what Jeff said is so true. It's not just the number of impressions that matter, it's your audience, and your audience can be just as valuable, if not more, than the number of impressions you deliver, because they can be hyper-specific, and as Jeff said, they're loyal. They come back again and again.
One of the slogans we use that you can steal, it's we deliver a loyal, local, repeat audience. So even though it's not huge, it's a loyal, local, repeat audience. It's an audience that people want to reach.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. We done? You're kicking us out? I just want to say one more thing, and that is we're about to roll out digital plans. We've been working with Molly now for about a month, and there's going to be 3 different levels. One, you can become an affiliate member of Local Edge, where we are totally out of the picture. You just work with Local Edge, and they offer you all the services that they offer us as a client. There are some qualifications, so we'd have to talk about that. The second would to still be an affiliate, but bring us in to assist in the sales. Okay, so in that case, even though Molly would still assist and be there for training and what have you, we would also be there too. We could go in, or maybe Molly, maybe you just need us to go on sales calls with you or something along those lines. Okay, and then the third one would be just going through us. All right, so we would make the sales calls for you. Molly would not be involved, or Local Edge would not be involved at all. So, like I said, it hasn't been rolled out yet. It is coming very soon, and there's a lot of details to it, but we'll share those with you. And like I said, there are some qualifiers. So, yeah.
Are you like an ad agency in the sense that you get business and then you find the media to place it?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, it can happen a couple different ways. The Department of Health might come to us and say, we want these 20 newspapers. Boom. All said and done, we do everything from A to Z. We send out the IOs, we It's one order, one bill for the advertiser, whether it be an agency or a client. We get proof of publication. We send it to them. The only thing they do is send us creative, and that's because each newspaper has different specs. But that's really all they do. We confirm that the publication has gotten the order. We confirm that they've gotten the creative. Actually, there's a portal they can go in and pull the creative right down. Now, in other cases, we will, well, first of all, we're always prospecting for new business. So we're always doing that. But another situation might be, I've been working with Port Authority on this, okay? They want to reach the Spanish market. Okay, so what newspapers would you recommend both in New York and in New Jersey? All right, so we worked with the New Jersey Press Association for that part of it, and then obviously we got the knowledge on the New York part of it. So I guess a little bit everything, yes.
Because to me, I think local newspapers that have websites, I think a lot of local media, internet media, has kind of missed their strongest selling point, which is they are like a point of purchase site, and you're only a click away from making that sale. You know, I used to work in marketing and for Lever Brothers, so we would put up these end-aisle displays, and they were right in the store. They were with the product, and they were called point of purchase. People are there, they see the offer, boom, and it's a sale. And I think local websites are a point of purchase media. Because you're one click away from that sale. But I don't see anybody, because I think it's a really, as you said, the numbers are small, but they're meaningful. To me, it's the law of small but meaningful numbers.
And it's all about content. You know, that's why people go to it, is, you know, for the content. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. There's lunch out there, don't forget, take some back to the office, because there's plenty. And it's good, because I already tested it.
Thank you so much.
For being with us.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate your time
One
today.
last thing that I want to mention. One last thing. Hold on. Thank you everyone for coming, joining us today. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Molly. Everybody did a wonderful job, so let's give them a good round of applause. And then there was a lot of conversation about analytics and about traffic, about monetizing your traffic, your audience, and this conversation about the niche market that our media has the ability to reach. That is their strength, and that is their biggest selling point as well. So we at the Center for Community Media are going to start a mentorship program which will have two elements. One will be about analytics, where an expert will go into your analytics and see if it is ready and set up to track your critical analytics that you need, what was just mentioned during this whole seminar. And second part is the digital strategy, because that you need once you know your standing in terms of traffic, and you use that strategy to grow. So we are going to start that. We'll be sending out an announcement soon. Please look for it in your email inbox. Apply, because we will have a few slots available, and we'll really encourage you to please apply. And we will have more programming down the road, especially on artificial intelligence and how you can utilize it in journalism, and many other programs that are coming down the road. Thanks again for joining us. And if you have any training ideas, my name is Jahangir. Many of you know me, and if you don't, I will give my card. Come to me, I'll give you my card, and send us any ideas, training ideas. We are working with Michelle and her team, and we have done some trainings in the past as well. We'll be happy to consider more in the future, and so just come to us, and we'll be very happy to work with you. Thank you so much. We have lunch outside. Please come and join us.
We have food outside. So.